Last week I made a bold statement and I said Arsenal win the Champions League or the Premier League, and I'm really feeling the Premier League.
You can both.
I'll go both, I think. I think I'm in love with Arteta. Mikel Arteta, if you're watching this, I love you and what you're doing. But Saliba, Gabriel, it's a team, right? If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be loving it at the moment. But Man City, will they win the league?
Yes, and Tottenham above Arsenal.
Oh, I'm going to have to explore that a little bit. You think Tottenham will finish above Arsenal? And here we go then. Wow, what a weekend. I'm pleased to say I'm here with Jamie and Louis. What a weekend it's been. And Arteta becomes the master with a convincing 1-0 win. We said last week they'd win a major trophy. I know you two aren't too sure about this, but Arsenal fans, you've done it. 1-0, you go joint top of the Premier League. And guess what? We have a title race. The top 6 are separated by 4 points. Man City, are they regressing, or Arsenal just too good? Louis, I'll come to you first. 1-0, what do you think?
I think it's obviously a very important victory for Arsenal, stating the obvious, but mentally it's a bigger win than I think the actual points are, because it's still early in the season. But I think that will give them a lot of confidence throughout the next few games. Annoyingly, next game is against us. But I think, you can't say it's a convincing win. I think you watch that game, and at the end of it, if it's 0-0, which everyone was kind of expecting after about 65 minutes, you just think, we just won't talk about that game again, because nothing happened. I saw a tweet saying you might as well have just watched Pep and Arteta just move magnets around the pitch for 90 minutes, because that's all what happened. It was just one team knowing exactly what the other team was going to do, stopping it before it got anywhere near the goal. Same thing for Arsenal to Man City. And it was just petering out, really. And then in the end, after all these little intricate passes, all it was just hit it up, big knockdown from Tomiyasu. I don't even know what he was doing there. Lay off, deflected shot. So football, it's fairly simple. I don't know why. I don't know what. We're watching a game thinking this is all going to happen, and then it was turgid, really, I'd say, for most of it.
Quick question on the goal, actually. I go to Ake. Now, am I being critical? If that's Ruben Diaz, John Terry back in the day, Vidic, he heads that, right?
I think he tried. I don't think he tried to get out of the way of it. I think it's just, he's got a split-second reaction. I don't think he could.
I'm sorry, I've got a big head, as we know, and I'm telling you now, he puts your head on the line, you head that out. I'm sorry, a good centre-half.
He should have scored. He had the best chance of the game. Okay,
right. But that's your reaction. You've been a little bit critical on Arteta, I think. What's your reaction?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Arsenal, there's a lot to be said about the patience they showed, against that City team. It's easy to go, even when you're holding City at half-time, do you go out and attack and go for it, especially at home. I thought they were really patient. They never really extended themselves where they put themselves at risk against a City team that could have picked them off. I do think this context in that City still missing Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, some of their best players, some of the most important players that allow them to play the way that Pep wants them to. That's half Pep's fault for not getting more depth, perhaps. But we've got to give enough credit to Arsenal. There's a game they still probably would have lost last season. They would have gone the other way. It would have been a deflection at the other end. It's that kind of thing. They are showing that mettle to stay in games and get the win and take that pot shot at the end to win the game. And yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I still think City, when they get these players back, I do want to criticise Pep as well. 3 subs in a game like that, 0-0 towards the end, a game that is still there to be won. There's only 3 shots on target in the whole game.
He was happy to not win it. He was happy just you watch the last 20 minutes, and every time they got forward, it was we're just going to pass back now. And it happened the whole time. It was just like,
you get Grealish sitting on the bench, have to make 3 subs. What?
Is it a maturity? Is it stifled? Man City have been struggling. 4 shots in the whole game, 1 on target. Arsenal, for me, were in complete control of that game. I agree, Pep made some, you can't say naive substitution, but he didn't go for it. He did bring on obviously Nunez, and he brought on obviously Doku, but they didn't really do anything, did they? They were out wide, they didn't attack. Ake on the left, Walker, and for me, a really mature performance. Rodri, 3 games domestic, 3 losses.
3 losses, yeah.
First back-to-back loss. Do you know what happened last time they had a back-to-back loss? You ready for this? 2018, but you know what happened? They won 19 out of 20 Premier League games. That's what happened when they went back-to-back losses. So I know last week I was like, Man City are going to regress and they can't score. Coming to fruition, Arsenal going to win a major trophy, looking good. However, 19 out of 20 games. But what I would say is, we look at them, they are toothless. Man City seem like they're just cruising along and think they're going to win these games. And suddenly, we have a title race. And I'm here for it, no matter how you both feel.
You not laughed, but you said about Man City are so good at replacing players all the time. Who did they replace Gundogan with?
Kovacic.
Well, just like we could see it yesterday. Kovacic, he can't score goals. He's not a goal scorer. He's not really creative. He's just good at linking play. And yesterday, I don't know what was going on in his mind. He was just the two most pointless fouls he could have made. It made no sense.
Where's the consistency of the referees again, though? Surely, I'm not saying the first was a red card. Let's say an orange card. It's so close. But that second one, Michael Oliver. How are we going to keep doing this every week? I know you want to keep 11 on the field, but just give him a second yellow card.
Yeah.
And then actually, it would take away from Arsenal's win. And they might have finished 0-0 because the Man City might have gone in their box even more. But referees, please, can you give us some consistency? It's just so frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think they've replaced the players they've lost exactly. Nunez as well. He's just a player who kind of links stuff. They miss, especially with De Bruyne now, they miss someone who's just going to help Haaland out because no one else is really like a big scorer apart from Alvarez. But again, he's not really helping Haaland. If anything, he's kind of
the De Bruyne thing's huge. Right? If you take Odegaard out of Arsenal, they're not the same. No one's the same team without one of the best players, one of the top 3 players, if you like, and Rodri as well. You put that in the mix. That is difficult, and we are harping on like Pep a little bit. I mean, he's like 30 seconds away from getting a good, decent away draw. That's the other thing. Other side of this, it's a bit unfortunate.
No.
I don't think they worry about it. And the thing is, what you mentioned, the title race. The thing was with City, they beat the teams they need to beat. They'll beat the other 18 teams. Arsenal might not. They've shown that they don't, especially under pressure.
City won the league last year because they beat Arsenal home and away. Though I know they won the league by 5 points and they lost like the last 2 after they'd won it. But still, that they won the league because they beat Arsenal twice. And so for Arsenal, that's massive.
And also there's a template. When you play Man City, it's compact. You have to get in. We said this last week. You get narrow and you stifle their attack because they don't play wide with Bernardo Silva, Foden coming inside, Alvarez stifling the attack. And I'm not saying that you've got to beat the template. But what I would say is it really nullifies Haaland. Haaland was just literally did nothing yesterday. He had an XG of, do you know what his XG was? 0. Nothing. Nada. And Haaland, nothing, right? There is a template and teams have worked out this template. Not saying you can do it, but they're a waveform this season. And we pointed out last week, the amount of goals they're scoring is pretty much nothing. If they start dropping points to the Etihad, then we've got a serious title race. And I mean a serious title race. And then you start dragging in Liverpool, your Spurs, your Villa and Brightons. Now you really do start dragging in those teams. So let's get a quick prediction. Last week I made a bold statement. I said Arsenal win the Champions League or the Premier League, and I'm really feeling the Premier League.
You can both.
I'll go both. I think. I think I'm in love with Arteta. Mikel Arteta, if you're watching this, I love you and what you're doing. But Saliba, Gabriel, it's a team, right? If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be loving it at the moment. But Man City, will they win the league?
Yes, and Tottenham above Arsenal.
Oh, I'm going to have to explore that a little bit.
Wow, I'm just
saying. You think Tottenham will finish above Arsenal?
The consistency they've shown. I'm not buying Tottenham.
You're buying Tottenham?
Yeah, not literally, but like it's expensive. But no, seriously, I think Tottenham are taking care of business. Is all I want to see. They've just got a different vibe about them. They're enjoying themselves. There's no pressure. I'm yet to see Arsenal have not convinced under pressure.
So they're not enjoying themselves, so you're not
Arsenal
convinced?
cannot do it from like March to May. Until they do, I'm not going to believe it.
And you think Big Ange is going to get them going, beat Luton, Burnley, Sheffield United?
I don't wish it on them, but Arsenal one big injury away from them.
So you let me just get what you think. Man City, Spurs, Arsenal.
I'm putting it out there. Why not?
Let's put it out there.
Yeah, why not?
Get to the pharmacy, all right? Because he's lost his head again. What do you think?
City still to win the league.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be close, but City will win the league.
Don't we just love the Premier League? Like, I mean, this podcast, the amount of Chelsea going to finish 5th, Sancho, Man City regressing. Football changes so quickly, doesn't it? And we were talking last week, and I said, "Is there a panic at Man City?" And you were like, "Nah, there's no panic." You're both saying no panic.
Still no panic.
I'm saying
they're used to it.
Red flag, Man City. You know, Man City fans. It's coming crashing down, and I'm here for it. Get me the popcorn. We got a title race, Premier League. Let's go. Right, move on. Topic 2. Okay. What I want to talk about is the Onana David De Gea situation. So, quick point out for those who don't know, Manchester United let David De Gea leave, completely go. He was reportedly on £375,000 a week. They had a verbal agreement for a new contract. We're not too sure what that was. Onana was 44 million, it could rise another 3.5 million. And so far, it's fair to say the experiment isn't going well. Okay, that's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'd love to hear both I think I have differing views, which again is very consistent with this podcast, it feels. But Onana, David De Gea situation, Louis, I'll come to you first. What do you think about it?
I think, well, he's obviously had a very, very bad start, Onana. Not just in the Premier League, but the Champions League you saw the other day. And my problem is, I think we have an epidemic in the Premier League of just forcing keepers to play out when they're not good enough at it and their decision making isn't good enough. Okay, you've got people like Alisson most of the time is very good at it. Yesterday again had a problem. Ederson doesn't seem to ever make a mistake. He is the limit. He is the best. He's the litmus test of it. But other keepers, they try and force it down their throat and they can't do it. Brighton yesterday for Bruggen, he's done it twice now. He's just passing it into a player who's under pressure. Just don't do that. It's not worth the risk because you're conceding goals and goals doing it. Even Chelsea, Robert Sanchez, he's done it a few times. He's got away with it. But Raya yesterday, is he that much better with his feet than Ramsdale? Is he that much better? Really? You see it yesterday, first half, he could have conceded that. In a big game like that, he got away with it massively. Another one we passed to Rice where he really probably was just a bad pass. And it happens in every game I watched yesterday, it happened at least once or twice.
Football's moving, Louis. Football's moving in a direction that we like.
Maybe that's the only bit that's going to be
11
interesting on
attackers.
it. But we're substituting keepers who are actually, good goalkeepers at first and foremost with their hands for keepers who might be quite good at passing, but they're not really that much better at passing than the keeper they have already. I think it's easier to coach a keeper into passing or making the right decisions when to pass and when to not than to make them a good goalkeeper. Okay. And I think there's just been a problem with, and Onana so far he's not even good at passing at the moment. He's just, everything that has gone wrong for him.
Yeah, before we go to you, Jim, sorry, I was going to say, De Gea had 17 clean sheets last season, won the last night, wow. And he won the Golden Glove. Onana so far has been struggling, but just a quick defence. Wan-Bissaka, best one-on-one defender, injured. No Varane, no Martinez, no Shaw.
That's when you need your keeper to stand up.
Okay, let's not. Last season in the Champions League, he had 8 clean sheets in 13 games that Inter's run to the final. He's obviously a very good goalkeeper. You don't spend this money for no reason. When you have Johnny Evans, Maguire, Lindelof, and one of those goals against Brentford, Lindelof just has a lazy leg at it. Yeah, probably should save it. But it must be so panicking for him because the amount of shots he has to face.
Or
but good quality shots.
He's creating the panic because they know no one can say. I've watched Kepa for 3 years and that's what happens.
Is there a worse defence though?
The defence is scared because every time there's a shot, it just goes in.
No, the defence is scared because they have Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at the backs. That's what they're scared.
It's two-way.
Anyway, so Jamie, what are your thoughts and feelings on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to write a player off this early. It feels like we do that too often, and it's not really his fault that he cost as much as he did. Kepa cost like double. We won't mention that. But listen, the problem is we don't know what. The way he dives so early, that's such a weird thing. I've never seen that before. The man just dives before shots taken, and you can see strikers just know to hold off. And I'm not a goalkeeping coach. I don't want to get into the weeds of it, but it's just I don't know if it's just confidence or not. I mean, he seems confident enough to bark at his defenders more than any goalkeeper I've ever seen, and he can't do his own job, quite frankly, and that's a concern. We mentioned Inter, but again, United fallen into that trap. At least he had 1 season at Inter. He did well at Ajax before, but they cost 44 million.
Left on a free from Ajax. I know.
And Arsenal bought David Raya on loan, but essentially bought him for 30 million. And Onana is he 14 million better? Than,
yeah.
Why does United always buy the fancy thing? We've been through that before, but are there better keepers out there for the same money? Absolutely.
Sounds like they just watched the Champions League final.
This is what I mean. It's the flashy, in-fashion goalkeeper, right? And
welcome to Man United.
Well, that's what you get. And it's going to take time. I'm not writing him off. I think he'll go on to be a good goalkeeper. Like you said, there were some good performances last season. No doubt we watched him in the Champions League, Serie A bit as well. But yeah, they're not getting better than De Gea right now. But I don't think they should choose between the two either. Like De Gea, I'm actually a big fan of his, but again, a mentality problem he had. He couldn't deal with the pressure of doing badly and having that criticism. And I think they were right to move on from him. But is Onana the right option? Doesn't mean that he is either. So, like, I think United should have bought better. But in a year's time, could we be saying differently? Yes. But also, after the first year of Kepa, I was saying the same thing. Will he come good? Probably. I saw him at Athletic Club, was really good. I had confidence that he'd turn things around, and he didn't. So I guess let's see, but it doesn't look good so far.
It's tough for goalkeepers, isn't it? Because you think pre-season he got lobbed, didn't he? And everyone was talking about that. And I think there's a lot of pressure at Old Trafford. And I think the results, the manager situation, has been a lot of off-field that we've talked about. And I feel being a Manchester United goalkeeper is hard. And I'm going to come to you in a second with some stats. But I feel like what we can really find out is we obviously have the XG for goalkeepers. Are they plus? Alisson was plus 10 last season. And we have some keepers dropping. So you've been looking, deep diving. Are the stats much different between David De Gea and Onana for shot saving?
Well, Onana now is 19th in the league for, it's called shots. I'm trying to read it out here, it's difficult. Post-shots expected goals minus goals. It's basically how many goals you're expected to save. If it's plus number, it's good. If it's a minus number, it's bad. Top in the league is Alphonso Areola, who is
he's been incredible this season.
Yeah, it's good. So good for Moyes. He's picked him this season. So at the bottom is 19th is Onana for players who's played quite a lot. James Trafford for Burnley is also is 20th, and then because we've had more than 20 keepers play, 2 Brighton keepers in there, Verbruggen and Jason Steele, both of them with -1. Ramsdale -1.8, and then the Brentford.
So this is what I was going to say. When we talk about David Raya, I think what people do forget about Raya, I'm going to say, actually is a very good shot stopper. And it was like, he kicks it. So I think that Arsenal, what I was going to say is we have evidence of the Premier League. Raya last season was comfortably better than Ramsdale, right? Well, Onana...
Comfortably better than Ramsdale last season.
He was.
Ramsdale was the PFA keeper of the year.
Doesn't mean anything. If you look at the stats of last season, and I was going to say David De Gea was the 18th best goalkeeper for that stat. And at the moment, Onana is 19th. So do we have much difference? I don't think so. Raya's stats were comfortably better than Ramsdale. So I understand that. Raya's a very good keeper. So
where is Dean Henderson? Can we put that? Because he would have been the other option, right, to United.
Yeah.
He didn't play for an injury again, didn't he?
But what we're saying is, I think Onana and David De Gea, there's actually, I know Onana's been an awful start, right? An awful start to life at Old Trafford. They're exactly the same stats, because last season, De Gea was 18th. Onana's 19th.
The Europa League game.
So I think we can just, we're 8 games in. He's not made a good start, but we can't write him off, can we?
Keepers, though, confidence is like the biggest thing. I think if you start well, I saw it with Mendy. When he was confident, he was unbelievable. He saved everything, catch everything, had a settled defence in front of him, helped. And then as soon as made a few mistakes in the World Cup, he was making mistakes, and then it just escalated, and then your confidence goes, and I think the confidence in the defender's confidence in you goes, and everything it's like a vicious cycle. So it's quite hard to get back from unless he starts making a load of big saves, has a big moment in his career for United, then he can turn it around. But like at the start, so far it's almost every game he is having a clanger.
You're right. I think that actually brought that down. It reminds me of Mendy when he went bad. Like that he does. Like that confidence is just gone. That when Mendy was so good, right? He was the next big thing. It was so strange how he tailed off.
The only thing I would say is that he made a statement after the Bayern Munich game, which is bad and good, I think. He's shown character. I saw Peter Schmeichel came out and was like, he's obviously very worried about him because he's coming out making these statements and still making mistakes. I know. I think he's talking a lot, right? So he's obviously a big character. You don't do that unless you're a big character. I think he can come through this, but I think he needs a bit of luck. He needs Casemiro to find some form as well to protect that defence. And he needs Varane back, and he needs Shaw back. And Shaw's nowhere near coming back, or Martinez. He needs Wan-Bissaka. He needs a lot of help, I think it's fair to say. So it could be a long road for Manchester United, Onana, and every week it feels like it's tough. McTominay has saved him there, because it would have all been about Onana, but luckily McTominay comes on, scores 2 goals, and it kind of gets pushed away. International break, regroup, go again, right? So I think that debate is up for, he's made a shocking start, but stats-wise, he's 19th. Can he improve?
Yeah, I think he has to. And if it gets any worse, he's going to be getting dropped soon, surely.
If he gets dropped, I think it's even more miserable for United, isn't it? But okay, right, we're moving on then. So time for Tom's teaser. Here we go, it's time for Tom's teaser, episode 5. and it's currently 1-0. However, today I've brought it in a little bit. I've made it a bit easier. Not easy in the sense that it's an obvious answer, more we kind of know where we're going with this one, okay? So, again, you know the rules. If you jump in, that's it. You're locked in, okay? So maybe just take your time, have a think about it, because this one is a juicy one, okay? So, the question is, the Netherlands, okay? Holland or the Netherlands. Who is their current all-time top goal scorer? Think about it. Just think about
Van
it.
Persie.
Straight in there. Didn't think about it. Gone straight Van Persie.
I just went.
I gave him a warning to think about it.
I know, but
Iron Robin.
Iron Robin. Interesting shout, that Iron Robin. Are you happy with your shout, Van
Thinking
Persie?
longevity.
I'm pretty sure he overtook. Yeah. Oh, it's not someone weird.
Class young Hunter.
No, yeah, he's like up there, I think.
Well, let me tell you now, okay? We'll go backwards. 5th, Bergkamp, 37 goals. Kluivert, 40 goals. Then we've got Huntelaar.
Van Basten, not there?
He's in 3rd. 2nd, any ideas?
Oh, well, it's not. Maybe he's got it right then.
You think he's got it right?
Well, if it's not Van Persie second.
Well, what about Memphis Depay? He's been around for a long time, hasn't he? Taking penalties. Memphis Depay 2nd. It's Van Persie.
Van
Well done.
Persie.
How many goals do you reckon he's got?
Van Persie?
Yeah.
62. I don't know.
Yeah, I reckon
I don't watch the Netherlands, to be fair.
58.
Bang on 50. 50 goals. Depay has 44.
That's what it takes to be the top scorer.
I know, Memphis Depay could be the Netherlands' top goal scorer.
He's only got that many?
Yeah, 50, I know. Yeah.
I was looking
but a
on-
lot of international top goal scorers don't actually have that many goals. We get a little bit carried away, don't we, with the Ronaldo stats.
Yeah, I think it's like 100 appearances, like the most you have,
Yeah.
like 110.
Van, you gone well done. 2-0 to you. You jumped straight in there and you got it right. I thought you...
I was doubting myself.
Yeah, I thought you might go something different. I thought Van Persie, you think Van Nistelrooy might go into people's heads, but no one, just straight to Van Persie.
They've always
Robin was a brave shout.
I just thought longevity's around for
Yeah.
a while. Probably injuries.
But I was quite surprised Depay, you always have like a random one, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so next then, we're going to talk about topic 3, last topic. Ones to watch, ones to worry about. And these are teams in the Premier League, okay? So who are we really thinking they usually get into a relegation scrap? Or kind of just regressing, not going anywhere, and who are the ones we think could actually compete and do something? Louis, let's start with you first. Do you want to go ones to watch or ones to worry about?
Ones to watch,
Okay.
I think. West Ham.
Ooh.
I think they really settled now with David Moyes. He's got the team. He's obviously won the Conference League last year, so he's got settled like what's it called? Like atmosphere in the club. Like for a lot of the time, they've been like, oh, is he going to stay? He's going to go. They want him out. He's settled now. He's playing how he wants to play. He doesn't have to fit in like Scamacca up front where he can't play the way David Moyes wants to play. He's still got Antonio just running the channels.
I love Antonio.
But he's got a bit of stardust around it, like Paqueta. Bowen's just been consistent, signed a new 7-year contract. And it's not just Chelsea doing it, right? So 7-year contract for Bowen. Paqueta, Kudus now as well, so someone who can score some goals. And I think they're settled and they're solid. They're always solid. David Moyes' teams are always solid. Really good atmosphere at the club at the moment. I think they'll just continue to rise. I think, I don't know, they're not going to be like top 5, but I think they'll definitely be in for the Europa League 5th to 8th. And I think they'll do well in the Europa League again. I think they'll go quite far in the Europa League.
Unbeaten in Europe for a long time.
The record for English clubs, 17 games.
17 games unbeaten in Europe. David Moyes, what are you doing? I'd agree. Antonio up front again is running the channels. That Scamacca wasn't really working, was that?
It's not. I think that Scamacca's a good player. He's just not how David Moyes just needs a certain type of forward to play up front for his teams, and Scamacca is not it. He basically needs like a Diego Costa.
Yeah, well, what a great player he was. And are they missing Declan Rice?
They don't seem to be at the moment.
Signed well, haven't they? Alvarez. Have you seen how he loves a challenge?
I think he's booked in every game.
He literally loves the yellow card, loves the challenge. He just gets in there. Proper Moyes signing that. Ward-Prowse, revelation. Revelation, by the way.
Yeah.
Bowen obviously doing it. Kudus, that hurts me as Brian. We nearly had Kudus. And yeah, I mean that's interesting. So quick prediction: finish 5th to 8th. Europa League. Can they go far?
I think they'll get semi-finals of the Europa League.
Ooh.
Yeah, get that far. Go that far.
It's a
pharmacy.
big,
It's a
big,
pharmacy.
that is a
game.
big shout.
Semi-finals. They're good at knockout football. They're used to it. That's David Moyes.
Yeah.
David Moyes in a nutshell. He just loves that.
Ridiculous.
Sit back.
No, they get found out in the Europa League when they play a bar. That's crazy. West Ham, you happy that though? Wants to watch?
Yeah, they were on my list. West Ham. I'm buying that as well. They're right around the edge. The problem for them will be the number of clubs above, in that top.
That's
six
what
range.
when I was thinking about that, I was like, there is actually quite a lot of decent clubs now.
Yeah, I think you're saying 50. You can't say 58, 57 for saying Europe, right? You're saying they're going to fit European football.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of like they'll do well in the cups as well.
But are you predicting European football next season, West Ham?
Yeah, when they win the Europa League.
Would you agree with that? Not winning Europa League, no chance.
No,
But can they come top
eighth,
7?
Eighth.
8. I think 8 is pretty fair as well.
That'd be a good season though for them because there's so many good teams. There's not Villa spent big, Brighton, Liverpool, Tottenham.
I don't know if they will get Europe, but I think they'll. Last season they were like fighting relegation.
Yeah.
I think they'll just be stable and have a few good cup runs, and they'll some good results like they have been so far.
I think when the Europa League really kicks in and squad
they'll
rotation,
focus on that. I think.
Yeah.
What's the point? Does it matter if they come 12th or 8th.
Well, it comes between that page, right?
Yeah.
But apart from prize money, absolutely right. And they deserve that, West Ham fans, and the way they're playing is exciting. Okay, well, West Ham, that's a nice one actually. Jamie, ones to watch.
I was going to go Tottenham, but I've already done them a little bit. I don't want to wind you up a little bit. But I'm going to go Chelsea. Let it go, Chelsea. Look at that win over on the weekend.
Performance of the week, I'd say.
Performance of the weekend.
Look how happy he is.
Strong.
Look how happy you've made him. Do you know how angry you've made me?
Do you know what gives me confidence? Is that they went behind. And for once.
And they went behind to who?
And they did, but for once they didn't crumble or panic. They were systematic, and Sterling just kept knocking on the door. Again, not everything going his way. In the past, he's crumbled, confidence is gone. This time, kept firing balls in, got a lucky deflection, got a lovely
Lucky
goal.
deflections are the worst own goal I've ever seen in my life.
Nicholas Jackson got a goal. I thought he'd screwed it up. It came to him.
Confidence, see that
One
straight
touch
away.
too much, still scored. I know it's Burnley. I know they've beaten Burnley, Luton, Fulham so far. It's no they're not mountains to climb, but Chelsea, I just feel like they've got a good manager, they've got the talent, they've got good players to come back from injury. If they can just pick up some confidence, I'm telling you.
You're climbing a mountain here. So you're still saying 5th, right, as well? You still think they're going to finish 5th?
I'm not moving from that spot.
And you said you 6th.
I went down 6th, but going back up to 5th.
Only one reverse.
It takes a week in the Premier League. You beat Burnley 4-1. Off air, he goes, good week for us. Why is that? The big teams have dropped points. You're not getting top 6. Honestly, they're finishing 12th.
What are Liverpool on at the moment?
You're
like 6 points behind them.
Yeah, but you've played really bad teams, and your next game's Arsenal.
We'll see. Litmus test.
Yeah, no, you're right. If they go into who are you at home or
we're at home. But I said, I hate this international break. It's like now we've got our 2 starting midfielders playing in South America. I think they get back by Thursday morning.
They're so young. They're so young.
But it's more like it's just the
preparation. I get what you're saying. But okay, that's a big one. Let's see how Chelsea get on against a genuine top 10 team. Yet to beat a genuine top 10 team.
Juggernaut, that's Arsenal now.
Yeah, the juggernaut. Because you've beat, like you said, Luton, Fulham, and Burnley. But everybody needs to calm down, okay? They're still going to finish 12th, and I'll still look in the camera and say it. But again, Raheem Sterling was on fire, and I have to admit that. Well done. Fair enough. So you're both sticking with 5th, and you've gone back to 5th. That's ridiculous. I'll stay with 12th. That is crazy. Don't agree with that. Like West Ham, Chelsea. Right, ones to watch. So I had 2 teams in mind: Aston Villa and Spurs. Now I know you touched on Spurs a little bit. I looked at Spurs' next 5 games, and I wanted to pinpoint that a little bit because ones to watch Spurs. They got Fulham next. That's a tricky game. I want to see how they get on against teams where they should win. Now, obviously, they beat Luton. Wasn't very convincing. 1-0. But they obviously got a red card, used Basuma. He's on fire this season, bar the red card. I just want to see the next 5 games, they should win all 5. Are they actually contenders? Can they really finish above Arsenal? Or are they going to melt a little bit with injuries? I don't know. I want to. So my ones to watch are Spurs, not for long term. It could be long term. The next 5 games, if they put 15 points on the board, I'm a believer. I am a believer because they should win all 5. If they don't, then obviously let's see where they are. They lost Solomon. They've lost Perisic.
You're including us in that.
I am including you in the 5. I know that. Trust me. They've got relegation teams. They've got Fulham, Palace, and Chelsea, right?
Yeah, Palace away is.
It's a hard game. If you have aspirations of winning a Premier League, I'm not saying winning a Premier League. That aspiration of going, we're going to finish top 2. And Fulham, Palace, Chelsea are games you should be winning. So let's find out in 5 games' time where they are. I love what he's doing. They have had very good fixtures, and they got lucky with Liverpool being down to 9 men and the VAR. So mine's in 5 games' time. I don't agree with your top 2 if you're putting them second or above Arsenal, but I think they could obviously finish 3rd or 4th. But if they win the next 5, I am a believer.
I mean, the logic says, I'm not saying Arsenal are a better team than Spurs. Logic says that. It's just that pressure factor. Spurs got a bit of money to spend as well in January, you'd think. Johnson's going to come back from injury.
I do feel like a bit similar to Arsenal at the start of last season, where they just played the same 11 like every game pretty much. And they've had a few changes, but just in like up front and on the wings. But they've had pretty much, I'd say, the same back 4 and midfield 2 the whole season. I think they've probably played every game together. Obviously, Basuma's suspended for the next game, and because he got 2 yellow cards, it doesn't count. He was on like 3 yellow cards, so it doesn't count as 5. So he misses a game, and then when he eventually gets another yellow card, which he will, he'll miss another game. So hopefully that's
Chelsea. And also, what let's say Spurs, they've actually signed really well as well. So unexpectedly, they've signed really well. They've been smart. I can imagine Harry Kane is in Germany, just going, what if Spurs win the league and Bayern Munich don't win the German league? I honestly think end football, call it over, poor Harry Kane, and it's done. But obviously not going to win the league. But let's buy into it. Happy to buy into it. They've signed well. It's exciting times.
No pressure, right? No one expect them to do well.
No European football. No Carabao Cup anymore. They get in the training ground every week. This is the formation we're playing. This is how we're doing it. And it's so far, we're enjoying it, aren't we?
Big Ange, beers after training.
Yeah, I reckon he will be, getting his fantasy football team ready to go, as he said. But it's exciting times for Tottenham. If you're a Tottenham fan, again, like West Ham, those 2 clubs deserve a bit of joy. They had some times with some managers, they haven't really enjoyed their football. But I'm behind it. Good to see Arsenal and Tottenham doing well, if you ask me.
Well, London clubs, Chelsea enjoying that, finish 5th. Palace up there, West Ham up there.
Good to see Arsenal and Tottenham doing well.
Up.
Yeah, really good to see.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
really good to see.
Louis, as a Chelsea fan, is loving this Arsenal Tottenham chat. Right, okay, so he wants to watch 3 interesting teams with different reasons and exciting. And I feel bad leaving Aston Villa out, but let's see where they go as well. It's more in short time. Right, ones to worry about. Who are you worrying about, Louis?
I know we're singing our praises because we beat them, but Burnley, really am worried about Burnley. I think their team's not built for the Premier League. It's just like physically, all their players are quite small and just like a bit feeble. Like we were kind of bullying them, and we don't really do that to many teams. I think they've set the way they want to play, and it was fine in the Championship when they had better players than everyone, and they did very well. But Championship, and then you go into the Premier League and doing that, and it's just not working. They don't really have any Premier League experience, and it's such a big turnaround from what Burnley used to be in the Premier League, where they had a team which could just compete in every game physically, set pieces or just strong, made it hard for you, and they got those points on the board quite just draws, little bits. Burnley now, they're just, I think their goal difference -13, conceded so many, conceded 4 goals to us. We haven't conceded 4 goals since it was April 2022. We haven't scored 4 goals.
Say it again. No, they conceded.
So I just don't think their squad's up to it. Like, they're experience-wise as well, I just don't see it.
I think they're diagnosed with a serious case of the Scott Parker syndrome. Not adapting when you come from the Premier League, thinking you can play a certain way, not going to happen. You have to adapt. You have to be different. You can't. I mean, the funny thing about this kind of play is it's the kind of play that shouldn't work in the Championship, because the Championship's more bruising, long ball. Some of these teams play like fancy football in the Championship, and it feels revolutionary because the Championship that's not the way you're supposed to succeed in the Championship. So they go against the grain and succeed, and they think that it should work in the Premier League. And somebody doesn't, and then you have to do it backwards almost. Be fancy in the Championship if you've got the right players, and then go back to a more physical style in the Premier League, you'd be better.
And then build up.
I've got one caveat that I want to say for Burnley. I want to stick up only one thing. They've been very unlucky with the fixtures. What I mean by that is Burnley, to stay up, are going to rely on home fixtures, right? And they have been. They've lost a lot of them. They've played Man City at home, they lost. Spurs at home, they lost. Man United at home, they lost. And obviously lost to you at home, right? So there's 8 games in, so they've played 4 home games, right? we can't judge them on the stereotypical top 6. Yes, the manner they've lost has been worrying. We can't deny that. But in fairness to them, that's 4, the traditional top 6, that's 4 you expect them to lose. So they do, I kind of feel like they've been very unlucky.
No, that is a caveat, but yeah, I'm just not seeing much.
No, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. They look awful and they look really lightweight. But let's see when they have a home game where they're not expected to win, but they expect to compete. And if they start losing games to your Bournemouth, your Brentford, your Everton,
they've got Brentford away next. That's quite a good,
huge game. That huge game.
Big Liver's test.
So they need that. Hopefully, Burnley have always relied on their home form, and you need that to stay up in the Premier League season. But I would agree with you. They're just conceding goals are fun, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Prediction relegation.
So Luton and Sheffield United definitely, and then I think they're going to get relegated.
Done. All 3 teams gone.
3 teams going down.
I don't think they will. My team to worry about, I was going to go United, but I feel I've bullied them a little bit. I'm going to go with Sheffield United because I think they're the worst team in the division. I think Luton have got a chance of staying up, and literally because of what I mentioned of that physicality and that fight, that level of passion, and that stands for something in the Premier League. If you haven't got the quality, that's the only thing that can keep you up, and we've seen teams do it before. And they have a manager they believe in. They have senior players like Tom Lockyer who are so fully bought in, and will, you mentioned with Ake, like you mentioned with Ake, will put their body on the line, their head on the line, no problem. That's the kind, and that Luton small atmosphere demands that of you. I don't say they will stay up, but they've got a chance. Sheffield United, I don't know where. Heckingbottom will be sacked at some stage. I know he deserves time for what he's done. He's done a great job there. But they've got no promise of money coming in. They have a really difficult ownership situation, takeover, just not happening at the moment. Like you said, Heckingbottom will go. That's the players' leader, if you like. And then who do they get in? Based on the fact they're not going to sign anyone. Neil Warnock will be coming back on a big return.
I would love that so much.
You could argue to give him the best chance because the only thing that can keep them up, because they can't spend. The only thing that can keep them up is fight and passion, and aggression, the type that we mentioned with Luton, and that is the one thing that Neil Warnock will bring in. I'm not saying they should do that. I'm saying that they're not going to get a better manager based on the fact they can't spend.
One last hurrah. Neil Warnock.
He did that last season in Huddersfield.
I know. You're in the Premier League,
I know.
In the big time.
Why not?
So you're saying Sheffield United, it's fair to say they're going to finish last, aren't they?
Unless Warnock comes in.
I mean, listen, I think it's box office, isn't it? If Warnock came in, it'd be amazing. But I don't even think Neil Warnock could get this lot going. What I've seen so far on evidence.
You get them going, but whether he keep them up, I don't know. And he's got that thing to put right. That season they got relegated with 38 points, I think, or 40 points with the Tevez start with West Ham. He got defrauded after staying up. He was pretty unfortunate with Cardiff. I think they went down by 2 points. You get them going as a minimum. I don't think you see the flash performances we're seeing now from Sheffield United.
Yeah, you can see 3 goals to Fulham.
I know.
It would be close. They'd lose games, they'd lose by 1. That's the difference.
They were very lucky at Spurs though, away. They kind of let in 2 goals late on. But yeah, they're not showing much, are they? They're not giving us a bit of promise. They're on 1 point. They're not really doing much.
No fight.
No fight, no commitment. So I think it's fair to say you're thinking, sack the manager, get a new one in. Well, we know you think you could get in. Neil Warnock, maybe stay up. Would you agree with that?
I think they're going down 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Without. I've been wanting to see someone to beat Derby's record for so long. And, I would quite like that.
Well, the evidence so far, they could definitely do it. When they sold their best 2 players in their pre-season, you do think, okay, they're in trouble here. And they brought an Archer, haven't they, from Aston Villa. They're going to heavily rely on crosses, scraps, and so far they're not showing it.
It's like when they bought Brewster from. What's Sheffield United?
Yeah, just come back from 2-year injury.
Yeah. So they haven't really learned their lesson. I think Archer's meant to be a good player.
It's a target man. I think it suits their profile maybe. Okay, yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it? Right, my team's always a little bit different. I say different. My team is Brentford. Now, Brentford obviously have an incredible manager, Thomas Frank, and what they've been doing is fantastic. But Brentford, 1 win this season. That was the second game against 10-man Fulham. Their recent results have been horrible. 2-1 lost to United. 1-1 against another 10-men Forest. They are winning 1-0. Lost at home to Everton 3-1. Newcastle 1-0. Bournemouth 2-2. That's an awful result. Yeah. They have the worst keeper in the Premier League statistically in Flecken. right? And I watched him pre-season, and he was horrible, right? And obviously he's there to replace Raya. They then got Shakoza last season on a free from Lazio. He made his debut against Man United, another short sleeve goalkeeper. And my thoughts, if you wear short sleeves as a goalkeeper, you're going to be rubbish. Oh, he was so bad. And before United scored those 2 goals, he looked horrible. They've lost Rico Henry all season. He's out injured with a horrible knee injury. They rely so much of his energy on the left-hand side. They've got, Hickey's only out for 1 game, and then Ben Mee's played 2 games this season. So you look at Brentford and you think, okay, they've got 5 goal scorers this season. Tony has made it very obvious that he's leaving. He's pretty much said that I'm going in January. Pretty much without saying I'm going, he's saying I'm going, right? So you look at the team, you think, okay, no, the goal scorers, and Buemo's he's got 2 penalties, and he's got 3. And the rest I look at and I think, I don't know where goals are coming from. And now you've lost Rico Henry, and they play 5 at the back against big teams. Thomas Frank went on Monday Night Football, gave away his tactics. I know Premier League teams do tactics. Not won a game since. Are Brentford falling a little bit victim to poor tactics? And could they get themselves dragged into trouble?
I think so. I think that, yeah, like you said, they don't have a lot of firepower at the moment. I do quite like Wissa. I think he's a decent player, but they won't get dragged into trouble, but they won't be as good as they have been in the other seasons, I think. I just think, yeah, they've dropped the most points from winning positions. I think they've been ahead in like almost every game so far this season. And I do normally quite like the way they play, but again, other times when I watch them, I think they're almost like a glorified Stoke in some games. It's just like long balls, throw-in set pieces. I mean, it's normally I'm watching them against the bigger teams, which is fair enough. But yeah, I think they'll be fine, but they have had a bad start to the season.
Also, yeah, well, it doesn't get any easier because they've got Burnley at home, huge game, right? Then they've got the banker Chelsea. Then they've got West Ham, Liverpool and Arsenal in the next 5. And they've lost that weapon, as I keep saying, the Rico Henry long ball diagonal. And I think, well, if those 5 games, let's say Burnley was to get a result, I don't think they get a point in the next 4. Suddenly, you're looking a bit like they're very lucky. The 3 teams
play a lot different when you're like under pressure as well. You can see it, like
so
you get dragged into a relegation battle. But there are definitely worse teams than them, I think. So
yeah, I think you're right. But I think if one of the 3 promoted teams get their act together, a Burnley get their act together, a Luton, Sheffield United bring Neil Warnock in, someone every season will get dragged down. We know Bournemouth have been awful this season, so that could be dragged down. Everton are picking up a little bit now. So could that team be Brentford? And I think in the next 5, I've got my teams to watch, we're going to really find out if they're struggling. This whole even Tony going as well. Maybe they have some money, I suppose, because they'll sell him. But they need to recruit, I think, quite heavily. And Thomas Frank is a very good manager.
I mean, they didn't recruit well for the keeper because both of them look horrendous.
I mean, and this is another thing, right? Because this is the big thing. If you don't replace a goalkeeper, you can suddenly concede a lot of goals you should never concede. And it does strike
me that massive difference.
Well, teams are going to shoot more. Because they're going to get parries and get goals you shouldn't get, cheap goals. And if you're conceding goals, as Brentford are doing, they concede so many goals.
If they had Raya playing against United, they win that game 1-0. Easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like both of those goals were just
it was awful, wasn't it? I mean, that McTominay header, I mean, I'm not much of a goalkeeper, but I think I'd catch that. Like, I think I'd catch it instead of counter-attack. I mean, it was awful, wasn't it, let's be honest.
And yeah, I was watching the end of that United game, and Brentford's time wasting was so bad. Like he had the ball twice with a minute to go in the keeper's hands.
I know.
Couldn't even just kick it far out for a throw or anything. Kicked it straight to United, got the ball back, and then
Do you know what they remind me of a little bit? Do you know Leicester when they got to Schmeichel and they thought, we have Danny Ward. Doesn't matter. Danny Ward's good enough. Okay, well we just put Danny Ward in goal. What happened with Danny Ward? He was beyond awful.
He was
right?
bottom of all of these stats.
And then they replaced him. And the keeper they replaced him with was awful, right? And they got relegated. Everson, he was shocking. And
they fully got relegated just because they didn't have a keeper.
Right, and what I'm saying is that Brentford, everyone's go, Thomas Frank, can't happen.
At least Leicester could score.
And I'm still saying that they're very lucky that the 3 promoted teams, like I keep saying it, are awful. But they could be the Leicester, and we go, don't worry about them.
I think Leicester should I mean, I don't want to be mean to Danny Ward, but they should have seen that there's a reason like 35-year-old Wayne Hennessy was still starting for Wales.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was a clue,
He's
Leicester.
example 3.
It was a clue, Leicester fans. But I'm just saying they could get dragged into it. I mean, that's that one. Okay, so some good teams there actually. Some exciting. What I love, we love the Premier League, don't we? The next 5 games, you'll say Chelsea will finish 10th by then. You'll say they'll be winning the league by then, and I'll say they're going to get relegated. We don't know where it's going to be, but what the 8 games so far, we've got a title race, we've got a relegation, we've got Man United and Chelsea making it more interesting. We've got some really exciting teams in Villa and Brighton doing their bits. I'm excited for it. Next 5 games, let's go. Obviously, with an international break. Okay, right. This week then, let's move on to the quiz. So what we've learned from the quiz is Louis becoming a little bit unplayable, isn't he? So what we're going to do this week is going to be Louis is the quiz master, me against Jamie, but winner takes on Louis next week, okay? Because we know Louis is the king of the quiz, so what we got to earn our corn as such, okay?
Qualifier.
It's a qualifier. Yeah, you're the final. We are qualifying to play Louis, okay? So Louis, it's 5 questions, right?
5 questions.
Normal rules apply. No jumping in. You jump in, you're locked out, right?
Yeah.
You're the quiz master. You want to give us another go? Up to you. You are in control. All over to you, Louis.
Okay. First question.
No,
Which club did Steven Gerrard end his career at?
Stoke. Oh, I thought it was the one where he lost the end game. Oh no. What did I say? What did I say? Don't jump in. I thought it was the game where you had the big last game.
Jamie, you've got time to think now. Which club did Steven Gerrard end his career at?
I know this as well. Oh, it's shocking for me.
LA Galaxy.
Yeah, yes. I know it as well. LA Galaxy followed Beckham now.
I was like, wait, they're fall asleep for a year?
Oh my god.
Stoke.
LA Galaxy. He didn't really do great at LA Galaxy, did he?
I think he was there for a year.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, I can't believe after all this time, don't jump in. So, I don't know what happened to me. Right, 1-0 down. It's okay. We come back stronger. Shocking for me that.
Okay. Next question. The golden goal rule was used for the first time in which World Cup?
Golden goal rule was used the first time. Not the I know the last one it was used in. But that was the last Euros, I know.
I don't know how early I'm just going to go.
The last golden goal was David Trezeguet in the Euros, but...
94?
First golden goal.
So you've gone 94.
Before that.
So 1966 used to be a coin flip. Did you know that? So if the final had finished a draw, it would have been a coin flip in 1966 to win. England could have won the World Cup with a coin flip. So golden goal. Oh, that's hard, isn't it? That's really hard. You've got 94. I'll go a little bit earlier now. I'll go 86.
It's got to be earlier.
1986.
No, 1998.
No way.
I thought it was short. You know?
So it was only for 2 World Cups, because I remember it in 2002. It happened quite a few times, but the first time it was used was in 1998. Yeah.
1998. Wow. Yeah. So 96 would be a coin flip. Can you imagine that? Golden goal. Bring it back, I say.
No.
Nah. No, I agree. It's just more exciting, isn't it, guys? It's like next goal wins. Right. You won it up. That was a good question. That toughie.
Okay. Right. So. Which club plays their home games at Deepdale Stadium?
Preston. Yes.
I knew for that. I was thinking, don't jump in. I'm Dormy 2 down. Dormy 2 down. Do you have a tiebreak just in case?
I do have a tiebreak.
Okay, because I will get this one to
Not
2-2. Oh, Tom. I didn't want to jump in. I knew that as well. Right, come on. 2-2. I need to get up with this.
Okay. Which club did Man City sign Edin Dzeko from?
So I was going to panic. He went there. Hang on a minute. I think I know it, but I don't jump
Roma.
in. No, he went there. That's where he went.
Was it?
No.
That's where he went. I was going to say the Roma as well.
That was going to be the question.
So now I'm in deep trouble here because I have to get it right.
Get it.
Where did they sign
Stoke.
Dzeko from? Sounds like Stoke, doesn't it? Now you're right. It was definitely Italy. It wasn't the Milans. It wasn't Lazio. It wasn't Juventus. It wasn't Napoli. So was it Italy? It wasn't Spain. Dzeko. It's funny because I thought Rome as well. It's definitely Italy.
Count down.
Dzeko. I used to like Dzeko as well. Right.
I didn't like him that much.
It won't count, but I'll take a second guess.
It's definitely Italy. Right.
Come on then, speedy.
Go on.
Gonna have to go in Italy. I'm gonna go for, if it's not Italy, just put my misery. I don't know. It's Italy, isn't it? I don't know where. I'll go for So a row. No, because he must have been big clubs to go there. Oh, it's kidding. You can't be right. Let's go for Inter Milan.
It's not in Italy. No.
No,
After all that.
I don't know.
You want another guess?
No,
Yeah, of course. Need it.
I'll give you both another guess.
I don't know.
I'm going to be kind. Shall I tell you what
Yeah.
league it's from?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, this doesn't count.
Go on. Count. He's a quizmaster. He can do
Oh,
it.
you both got the same.
Yeah, go on. What is it? What league?
As well.
Okay, which club in Germany?
Stuttgart.
No.
Either. Solid.
Okay. Going to give you 3 seconds.
Leverkusen.
See what? No. Was Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg.
Then they won the league.
They played at Cardiff once.
They won the league. They scored.
De Bruyne, I was there as well. No.
Well, no, I was after, but they won the league. Scored record amount of goals
I saw him in
with Graffiti, and they won the league.
I watched Everton 2013 Europa League.
Yeah. No.
Oh, great. Oh, good. Doing well at 2-0.
Well,
Brilliant. That's it done.
2-0.
Right, what's the last
there's
question?
one more
Watch me
question.
flying at this. I knew LA Galaxy as well. Blooming Stoke have cost me. If I get this right, I'll be so annoyed. Go on.
Okay. In Atletico Madrid's famous 2014-15 season, where they won the league and got to the Champions League final, which player scored
Godin.
in both their
Diego Godin.
scored in their league decider against
See, I would have got it.
Barcelona and Champions League final?
Good header. Sanchez got the equaliser. Oh, that's so annoying. Stoke have cost me big time there, haven't they?
Talk, of course, yeah.
Well, the Galaxy was. Oh, well done, Tom. Good question. Good questions. 2-1. Congratulations on your win.
Well
Not
done.
bitter at all that I should have won that 2-1.
See you next week, Jamie.
See you next week. So you two will play for the win. Wolfsburg was tough, very tough.
Yeah.
Well, that results in the quiz. Me losing 2-1. Not be miserable about that at all. Be annoyed for a whole week. Obviously, it's international break. If you haven't, please hit subscribe. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.